Hello and welcome to Horror Madness with Dana and Deb. I said that backwards and that's real weird. I always say Deb and Dana.
It is Deb and Dana.
But also, this is a movie I didn't want to do, so I'm okay with saying it backwards one time ever. We can just try again real quick. Do you want to try again?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Welcome to Horror Madness. We are doing Gremlins, 1984. This was directed by Joe Dante, produced by Steven Spielberg, and the creature effects are by Chris Wallace.
I think I was happiest with Wallace.
This movie is starring Zach Galligan. He was in Waxwork.
Zach Galifianakis is in this?
No, Zach Galligan. I knew you were going to
Galligan.
say that. From Waxwork and Hatchet.
Oh
This
my God.
also is starring Phoebe Cates from Drop Dead Fred and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Both great movies. Dana would disagree with me.
Bunch of other stuff. I love Phobia Cates.
You don't love Drop Dead Fred.
Oh. Well, we'll get to that one day in a madness segment. I think
I have to do Drop Dead Fred.
I think this is our first madness segment because
I don't think this counts as horror.
It is the most horror movie that's ever existed in the history of mankind, and it's horror and not funny and just horrific and scary. Every second of this movie is terrifying, but it is considered a family Christmas children's
horror
movie.
comedy.
So a common thing I see, I'm sorry, Deb. A common thing I see is people being like, should my 7-year-old see this movie? My answer is hell to the fuck no.
This movie also stars Corey Feldman.
It doesn't star.
It doesn't star. He's in it.
Does any movie star Corey Feldman?
No, never.
Right, every movie is highly affected, but still, I don't think you could say Corey Feldman ever starred in anything that I care about, at least.
But he's in this movie, and he's kind of a lead-ish.
Also, what Corey Feldman does is still the movie and not be that important, but still always do the most.
Which he does in this movie.
Murdered Jason Voorhees to death. He killed all the vampires in The Lost Boys. He's always the most important character. Do you know why there's Gremlins?
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. If Corey Feldman wouldn't have shown up.
Oh my gosh, there would just be Gizmo and Gremlins.
This movie could have been 2 hours of just the happiest family ever.
With their adorable Mogwai.
Cryptid pet.
Cryptid pet. I want a cryptid.
You just want a cryptid. You would take a Bigfoot or a
I would take a
Flatwoods monster or a
Beast of
Bladenboro. Beast of Bladenboro. There's none of them.
I'd take any of the cryptids.
The frickin' lizard man from...
I would not take a boo hag.
I would.
I know you would.
I know. If we had backstairs, I wouldn't be too sure who you are or aren't. Oh, we do. Kinda. I think boo hag, which we're not talking too much about right now. I would love to in the future. But you could leave your skin in the bathroom under the stairs that we have.
Maybe I do.
No, I check it every night. Trust me, I'm on that shit. It's the only place you could possibly leave your skin.
Is it?
Ooh, maybe not. I don't know.
So, this movie is... Dana's going to disagree with me on this. Gremlins is partly responsible for the PG-13 rating in the MPAA. Between this movie and The Temple of Doom, both made by Steven Spielberg,
I would have just said
they
Indiana
were
Jones.
criticized for not being kid-friendly enough after being rated PG.
Phenomena?
Phenomena.
Boop, boop, ba-doo-doo.
Phenomena.
Boop, 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 boop.
Phenomena.
Deb, come on.
You Dragon Con me. I can't. So they were criticized for not being kid-friendly enough, and then Steven Spielberg was like, hey, how about there's like a rating between PG and R? So, like, thank you, Spielberg, for every PG-13 movie ever made. So this movie starts in Chinatown.
You know what else starts in this movie?
What?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh!
Kathleen.
Of Lucasfilms.
And, Star Wars and Disney and everything. Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Also, the Disney ties in this movie run kind of deep, and
They
I
run
haven't
super
figured
deep.
it out yet. So, The Gremlins was a movie that Disney tried to make from the Roald Dahl story, which really has nothing to do with Gremlins other than the fact that it's little creatures that mess with mechanical shit.
Well, I mean, that's just like a real story.
Yeah.
But I think Disney copyrighted it at some point previous to anyone else other than maybe Looney Tunes. But you know what's weird? There are both Looney Tunes and Disney things in this movie. So
I couldn't find what they paid or how they got the rights to
I'm telling
Snow White.
somebody was
There
a good
was
businessman.
nothing that I could find. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't find how they got the rights to Snow White to play.
Steven Spielberg was on a bench of rich old white people at a boardroom. Boardroom is the word I was looking for. And he was like, "Yeah, we'll pay you $3 million to use Gremlins, but we get 30 seconds of a Disney movie." And they were like, "Okay, cool." And they probably regretted it later.
So the score in this movie is perfect.
Jerry Goldsmith?
Jerry Goldsmith. The awkward horns when Miss Deagle comes on screen every time, and it's like blomp, 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 blomp.
Is she Cruella de Vil? Is she the Wicked Witch? Is she Ebenezer Scrooge? She's all of them.
The Wicked Witch. She even talks about stealing and killing his dog.
Mushroom the dog, you may recognize from a previous podcast from us.
Pumpkinhead.
It's the same dog from Pumpkinhead.
Same dog. Gorgeous little mushroom.
Those credits rolled, and it was like dog, mushroom. And I was like, why does that sound so familiar? I was like,
got so excited.
That's the dog from Pumpkinhead. Like, he's a little puppy in Pumpkinhead and a big old grown-up, well-trained dog that tried to eat a mogwai and they had to hold him back and stuff. Deb, do you know how happy I would be if you owned a dress with puffy sleeves? Those sleeves are so puffy. They are
so puffy, and her dress is so...
ancient grandma.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't quite alive in this time, but like I was technically alive. I was 2 or something when this movie came out. Like when this movie came out, only my great grandmother wore dresses that looked like what Phoebe Cates is wearing in
Phoebe.
Phobia Cates. She's really scared of Cates. I'm telling you.
Goodness.
It is what it is.
I want to know why that mom was cutting so much onion.
Me too.
Onion and tomato. What do you cook that has 8 pounds of onion and a whole bag of tomatoes in it?
So she's cooking for a family with one
3?
child.
3.
Yeah, 3. Mom, dad, one child. Dad's almost definitely not going to be home for dinner.
No.
And she has a pile of 16 onions cut. If 50 people,
nothing else.
If 50 people are eating,
I don't need to cut that many onions.
That's what I'm saying. Like
ever.
I do culinary stuff and everything, and like there is zero reason. The amount of onions she has cut, I could not cut for less than 50 people at minimum to eat that many onions, and she's just like Still got a half an onion and still going hard on the onions.
Not even tearing
and
up.
I've never heard anyone mention this massive mound of onions. Like, no one that's ever seen this movie has ever been like, God
That's a
almighty,
lot of fucking onions.
that is far too many onions for a human being to have piled in their kitchen while still cutting more onions.
So we'll move on from the onions.
Okay, all right. Well, the onions matter a lot.
I know. I just want to know what she's cooking because you never see it.
Onions.
So Dad comes home and he's like, "This is an early Christmas present." That 20-year-old shakes that box so much.
Yeah, no, right. So
he's like, "Oh, it sounds like it's alive." Shooka, 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 shooka.
I think this is my personal biggest problem with the whole movie. So Gizmo specifically, apart from everything else that also does, Gizmo specifically is no less than trilingual. He speaks English fluently and clearly. Mm-hmm. He obviously speaks Chinese fluently and clearly.
And
Cantonese, I believe. And Mogwaian, they seem to also have their own language.
Yes.
But they all know all languages the second that they're birthed from a weird pustule.
They know everything the second that they're birthed.
So I think all that really matters, Gizmo should be nuked. Like his entire
just
horrible
follow the rules.
Demon creatures.
Just follow the rules. Don't get them wet.
Okay.
Don't put them in bright light.
Okay.
Don't feed them after midnight.
All right, so let's talk about that last one there, Deb.
You don't feed Gizmo after midnight.
Every point
They're
of
in
life.
New York, so it would be Eastern
No, I don't
time.
care where you're at. Every moment of every second of existence is after midnight, except for exactly midnight.
Okay, so yeah, no.
Midnight
they need to be
happens.
Clear. Like, is it between the hours of like 12?
Every
and
millisecond
5?
between midnight to midnight is after midnight. Also, so let's talk states of matter. Why isn't snow water in this movie? Snow is water.
No, it should absolutely be water. I mean, they're all out Christmas
here's
caroling.
a
no,
thought
that's
for
a
you.
thing. I loved Christmas caroling. Did you?
No.
No.
And I won't like Howie Mandel when I try to sing.
Oh, he does not sing.
He does. He says,
He is not the voice of singing Gizmo.
Oh, is
that
he not?
was Frank.
Oz?
That was the guy that did the voice for the other Gremlins. Howie Mandel did the vocals, like for the words. He did not sing for Gizmo.
He couldn't
though.
just go.
Yeah.
But for all you youngins that crappy game show host that hosts game shows that you wouldn't watch if your life depended on it, and even your grandparents aren't that interested in, that's Howie Mandel, the voice of Gizmo.
So, I say there's not a lot of shit to talk in this movie. You would disagree. I thought the movie was well done and the acting was good.
Yeah, damn right. Freaking Joe Dante.
The creatures in this movie. Chris Wallace, Mr. Chris W. Did a great job on the creatures in this movie.
I mean, I think it's more than a great job. I think it's the best ever done.
Yeah, no. So, they are mostly animatronic and puppet.
But it was when animatronics were even being invented, period.
Oh, so that was a big portion of the budget, and they tried to. So the original budget was not the $11 million it cost. They tried to get monkeys to play the Gremlins, and that did not turn out well.
They pooped too much.
So, puppets it was, and they did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, hey, no better job has been done apart from anything that what's his name ever did. Kermit the Frog,
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson. Yeah, my
Yeah,
boy
no. They also had these puppets under lock and key. They checked every person leaving the set's trunk to make sure they weren't taken off with some mogwais.
Jim. Well, I think those were Gremlins.
Or gremlins, mogwais, same.
So there was 150 Gremlins in the movie theater.
Oh, yes, there was.
There's only like 5 or 6 total Mogwai,
Yeah.
which is just demon for how scary and terrifying and awful they are, because they're demons.
Oh, my gosh. The song choices.
Oh yeah, the Jerry Goldsmith. Here's a Christmas song that's supposed to make you happy, but right now it's terrifying you.
The mother,
Wow,
when
bigger.
she first gets the phone call that something is wrong with the Mogwais, and they start playing Do You Hear What I Hear?
I don't remember. I've seen this movie plenty of times. I don't remember her getting the phone call before. Maybe she did. She heard a noise from upstairs. And she grabs a knife and she's like, I'm about to murder people. And then, like, she's in the living room and I think one cup gets thrown in her direction, doesn't even hit her, completely misses. And she's like, guess what, bitch? Blender, microwave, you're dead. I'm gonna fucking double knife. I'm dual wielding death over here.
She just starts murdering
Murdering.
Mogwais.
Murdering.
Maybe they're the victims in this.
They're gremlins. They're not. They're definitely not. And they were gonna murder her, but she couldn't have known that. She's just
They
murdering
had
everything in her path.
She just went straight for murder.
Anyone that could ever listen to this, if I throw a cup at you and miss, I don't think I need dual-wielded blender death with 2 kitchen knives in your hand and stuffed into a microwave to explode. I don't think that's necessary when all that's happened is one cup got thrown at you. And then they throw more things at her, but she's already murdered.
She killed so many gremlins.
Yeah, gremlins are dying at this point, and they're like, I'm a gremlin. I'm gonna be like, all he did was throw a cup near you. He didn't even hit you. And now you're fucking murdering everybody?
She gets taken out by that Christmas tree.
Well, there was a gremlin in the
Yes,
Christmas
I
tree.
know. I'm aware.
There was a gremlin inside that Christmas tree.
She was supposed to be
It was not Corey Feldman. It was a gremlin.
So
So it's called foreshadowing.
Billy's mom was supposed to get killed by gremlins.
But how could she get killed when she's too busy murdering?
They were going to decapitate her and roll her head down the stairs. But they thought that would be a little too much.
Also, she's such a badass. I don't think
they could have got her.
Yeah, she just murdered. Like, there was only 5 gremlins, and she murders
this
3
point,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was before the pool.
She murders most of every gremlin in existence.
If only she had gotten Spike.
Yeah, well, he's got a mohawk.
But
You got to be careful.
Spike made his way to the YMCA.
Oh,
How did he know there was a pool in there?
I think the better question is, how did Billy, just randomly searching a town,
He was
be
following
like,
footprints.
Was he?
Yes.
In the
snow.
in the fake snow. So I was thinking, if I had to cut 17 onions, rough cut 17 onions for absolutely no reason, and I was not even cooking anything, I could not cook anything that required that amount of onion,
Nothing.
I'd probably be mad and start murdering gremlins too.
Probably.
Normal circumstances, I would just be like, hey, whoa, bro, why are you throwing a cup at me? Why don't we try to talk this out?
So the Mogwai in the pool. I'm going back to this because it's the greatest scene.
I don't know about the greatest scene. I think it
It
might
is
be one of the greatest
beautiful.
special effects things.
Yeah, that is practical
practical
effects.
special effects things. And it's so easily missable. That whole entire, that's a real swimming pool.
Yes.
That is boiling and producing so much fog that it's unbelievable. Like, doing that in real life is insane.
Liquid nitrogen.
Air-fed liquid nitrogen.
Yes.
Real
We
earthquakes.
read about the things they had to do for those effects, and it is a gorgeous scene. Everything in this movie is shot really well. That scene, these practical effects, I mean, kudos.
Well, it's back when practical effects were all that,
I
could do.
know.
But
like,
that pool scene, woo, that's over the top.
I've seen movies made after this that had shittier practical effects, and so have you.
I'm willing to bet that pool scene was a very good portion of this entire movie's budget, and it's like a super short scene that nobody pays attention to or even like realizes that that's all like actually happening in real life, and how is that even
That's
possible?
not miniatures. That is a real full-blown YMCA pool.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's the pool and the puppets, because they're all little animatronics and little actual puppets. That was a huge chunk of the budget.
Well, yeah, there was 150 at minimum, probably.
Yes.
And then you got to think that all the main like stripes and stuff probably had 10, 15 each. Like just hundreds and hundreds of Gremlins had to be made.
Mm-hmm.
So when Steven Spielberg was like, "Why don't we take out the Gremlins and call it people?" I mean, that would have saved an infinite amount of money.
Yeah, it would have, but it would not have been as good of a movie.
Nope, it would not have. But also, ultimately, people are terrible.
They're worse than Gremlins.
They're way worse than Gremlins.
Dad, though, has an amazing voice.
Oh my God, Dad. You mean
not
Matt Berry? Who
it is
just 80s Matt Berry?
Hoyt Axton is his name. And he is a country music star, I guess. I don't know. I don't listen to country music. But just listening to him talk, I could do it all day.
That voice is beautiful. The whole time.
Not Matt Berry.
I just wanted him to say, "I'm just a regular human inventing inventions. I'm not a vampire." From what's the name of the city?
Staten Island? Oh, Kingston Falls.
Kingston Falls.
I thought you were talking about what we do
just
in
a regular
Shadows.
human from Kingston Falls.
The Gremlins like Milk Duds. That, I think, is their biggest downfall.
That's just a product placement.
Whatever, they talk about how much they love Milk Duds. But how do the Gremlins even know what Milk Duds are? They were just born.
Babe,
they know everything.
How do the Gremlins know how to speak English, read English?
Why do they know the words to the hi-ho song?
Engineering, science, mechanical, scientific stuff. They're apparently born with all knowledge because they're demons, I think is the right answer, but I don't think anybody in the movie meant for that to be the reason.
They're so smart. And where did they get all the perfectly fitting clothing? With ears cut, like ear holes in the hats cut out for their giant ears.
Well, I think they cut them with their claws.
Where did they get them?
Demon claws from the devil? I don't think you're meant to think about that too hard. But also, I think that you can't not be meant to think about the fact that they're demons that would cause an extinction level event in 1 second, and they need to be nuked off the planet Earth.
Are they demons? The clothing line.
Osh gosh be gosh.
You do with Mogwai what your society has done with all of nature's gifts. Are the Gremlins the demons, or are people the demons? Because that line closing out the movie,
People are the demons, but also like the demons are even bigger demons for the demons.
that line like hit me to my core. And I think it is a heavy lesson, and I think it is.
I think they're just demons. I think they're just
Dana
horrific
does
Chinese
not
demons.
want to go into a deeper meaning on Gremlins.
I don't. I have a lot of them. They're evil, monstrous, horrible demons, and Gizmo is the king of the demons that could eradicate mankind in seconds if they wanted to. But he's a little bitch
Mankind
ass demon who looks all cute.
eradicates themselves with their irresponsibility.
We're still here. You know who's not? Mogwai. Well, they're still here too, but they don't do a good job at anything.
He's so sweet.
Leave him alone. Don't touch him.
Oh my
It's disgusting. He's a fucking demon.
I
yeah.
suggested this because it's a Christmas movie. And
Mhm.
Dana went along with it
No.
until after we watched it.
I-
We've been married for a while now. And I knew he did not think it was a children's movie.
This movie should be rated NC-17
I had no idea
because it's horrific.
how much Dana disliked
In just a couple days,
the
Dad,
Gremlins.
a lot of people listening will be opening their presents, and a lot of people listening will be opening their wrists.
Oh,
How
Dana,
is that
we
a
are
line?
Dana.
How
we,
is that a line in a freaking family children's movie?
Yeah,
Dude,
no, that
how is that-
line was insane. And as a child, I had no idea what it meant. And watching the movie today, I was like, wow.
Hey, my dad was trying to be real cool and make his family super happy. Yeah, he's dead, and he rotted in our chimney for weeks before anyone found him.
Also, that would never happen in real life.
Wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it?
What parent actually tries to go down the chimney?
What I don't know is what house, no matter how rich or poor you've ever been in the history of mankind, has a big enough chimney to have your arms full of presents and think you're going to fit down a chimney?
Yeah, no.
We've been to the Biltmore. I don't think there's a chimney in the Biltmore estate that is big enough for a dad dressed like Santa Claus with his hands full of presents to get from the top to bottom of and survive it. Like, that's, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dark comedy. It's a dark comedy. It's not meant to be taken seriously. That
No,
these traumatic horror things happened.
those are traumatic and awful, and I could not believe my ears. But the rest of the movie's great. It's very well done. The acting is amazing by everyone in this. There is not a bad actor in this movie. There's not.
Oh, let's not forget, there is a scene in this movie that's a high school, clearly like probably a senior level high school science class with a guy who is working at a bank who's in his mid-20s, and also Corey Feldman, who's a child who should probably be in elementary school, and somehow this guy that should be post-college and this child
He's
that
not
should be in
in the
like
class.
4th or 5th grade.
He was visiting his old science teacher, and they made that very clear. You didn't catch that?
Why was Corey Feldman there? He's a child, and it was
Corey
definitely
Feldman
a high
is
school class.
probably in the 9th grade. Anyway,
so the
what I am
Yodas
saying
murder everyone. This movie's terrifying.
is all the acting is amazing. The creature features amazing. The score amazing.
Yep.
This movie might
Check.
terrify the crap out of you, Dana. It is incredibly well done. There's some minor things you can bitch at and pick at about this movie, but there is not a lot. And Mushroom the dog.
I think the only thing I'm going to bitch or pick at, I'm not bitching or picking at anything. This movie terrifies me to my core. I think it might be one of the only true horror movies ever made. I'm not messing with Mogwais. They're demons. So back to the movie a little bit. I think my biggest thing, one of my biggest things, talking about it being such a good movie, So Gizmo very clearly, audibly, and really speaks English
Yes.
the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much he doesn't say. And then when the Chinese guy comes and picks him up at the end, I think Billy, the one who's been talking to him for days at this point, looks at him and says, "You can understand him?"
I understood him the whole movie.
Right. So, like, does that explain why Billy shook the box? Because, like, the actual voices they can't hear. It's just
Maybe.
for
I don't understand why Billy
only the
shook
theater
box.
audience could actually understand them speaking,
Maybe.
being trilingual.
Maybe. Hold on.
That is not ever said very clearly in any possible way.
No, it's not.
I mean, like, he's just walking around speaking English,
Yeah.
talking to people, having conversations.
He's like, Mogwai.
And then at the end of the movie, he's like, "Oh my God, you can understand him?" And I'm pretty sure old One Eye was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you've been with him for like weeks now. Like, you
don't
can't
understand
He
him
speaks
yet?
English and Cantonese and Mogwaian. What do you mean? Yes, I can understand him." Also, world-ending event that should have been nuked off the planet Earth. If I was the president or a general of an army and got word of that happening, nuke. Fuck your town in Pennsylvania. It's nuked so the world doesn't end.
Could you imagine if a Mogwai got into the ocean?
Right? No, it's insane. The possible ramifications of this
Of a
situation.
Mogwai, which is why the dude was like, "Nah, he's not for sale. I have this one. I know how to handle it."
So
no, sir.
he almost calls the extinction of mankind and the destruction of the planet Earth. And old Not Matt Berry is like, "I'm so sorry. Here's my smokeless ashtray." And the guy's like, "Ha ha ha, it's cool. Like this other guy tried to sell me your other one. You just said there was two. I almost like wasn't gonna buy the first one. Also, you just also caused an extinction level event. I
Yeah.
should probably be mad about this, but I'm just gonna joke and laugh and be on my way with my demon."
And somehow it happens all again.
So maybe he's also a one-eyed demon.
Also, it's going to happen again in Gremlins 2. And I can't wait to talk about Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2 is far less terrifying than this movie. I think the Key and Peele sketch is everything that anyone needs to know. And Joe Dante's response to it, that was just like, that's exactly what we did. And that's beautiful, and that's actually funny, and that's actually good, and I love the existence of Gremlins 2.
He does not love the existence of Gremlins.
Oh, and it's terrifying and demon-filled and horrible.
There is also like a little golden book of the Gremlins. So you should find it. I got mine at Target.
If you want to traumatize your children, you can let them read about Chinese demons and
Also,
children.
in the little golden book, it is perfectly innocent.
Also, nothing against demons in general. Like, I'm kind of, I'm friends with most demons. Like, we're all boys. But, like, Mogwai,
This is a great Christmas movie.
Wonderful Christmas movie.
I love it.
Watch Die Hard.
And, yeah. You want to take us out?
What? How do I do that? Do I know how to do that? Thank you guys for listening to Horror Madness, and like maybe one of the only episodes I did not want to do. There will be more. She's got a thing in the shoot that I also don't want to do, but I'm not gonna have nightmares for 6 months because I watch a true crime movie. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to have nightmares about Kathleen Kennedy and Luke Skywalker and Chinese demons. And just nothing good came from this podcast. And I'm sorry that I know somebody out there is going to show this to their children and your children are going to be too young to even know what you did to them. And they're going to hate you for your entire life. And they're going to be like 25 one day, and you're going to be at a bar drinking, and they're going to be like, you made me watch Gremlins that time, Dad.
I was 6 or 7 when I saw this movie.
Yeah, that's too young. You should be no less than 41 when you watch this horrific demon movie. This thing's no joke.
Thank you for doing this with me. I know it took a lot.
It took so much.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorites.
I don't like Mogwai. They're not good people.
Well, thank you. You are a wonderful sport, babe.
And thank you all for listening. Don't get tricked by cute, furry, big-eared, Yoda-looking...
Be responsible for your pets.
Demons.
Follow the rules.
Your pets aren't demons. Only Mogwai are demons. Stay away. Thank you for joining us on Horror Madness. Good night, and I love you, motherfuckers.
We love you guys. Good night.